Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you for joining me today. We're so privileged always that you tune us in each week to find out what's going on in the Central Florida, Tampa Bay area. And we have a couple of ministries we're going to highlight today. One we'll talk with in just a moment called Going the Distance Adventure Ministry. And those of you that are long-term viewers of Bay Focus, you know who these people are, and we love to highlight them, usually about once a year. But if you don't know and you're looking for a good adventure and love the great outdoors, you want to find out about this ministry, so stay tuned to hear more about them. But then also, we're going to get updated from a church that we have featured on Bay Focus in the past called Wellspring Church in Sarasota, and what God has been doing in their ministry and how God is expanding their ministry. We like to do that periodically as well, update our viewers on some ministries we've had on in the past. But we're going to start today with Going the Distance Adventure Ministry, and we have with us the founder of this ministry, Doug Garner. Right. Thank you so much for being on again. And Doug, you brought along with you your right-hand person, right. Lori Finger, and she is the missions director for Going the Distance Adventure Ministry. She's also your fiancée.
My fiancée.
I want to say that too. Yes. So double duty for the rest of your life. You realize this? I know.
Exactly. One more you can.
Yeah, you signed on for one more adventure, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, the adventure of marriage, right? It will be an adventure, I promise. But anyways, Doug, tell us, because there's a lot of viewers that maybe are just tuning in for the first time. I love the ministry, that this was your brainchild and your heart and vision. Tell us about what it is.
Well, Going the Distance Adventure Ministry, or GTD as we also like to call it, is an outdoor adventure ministry. Yeah. We basically put together events for church groups, youth groups, and they usually revolve around being in the great outdoors. So typically we would take groups camping for the most part. It could be a weekend retreat here in the Tampa Bay, Central Florida area. It could be an adventure trip, which is like a 5-day camping trip that we do up in Tennessee or North Georgia, North Carolina, or it could be like a day trip where it could be canoeing or inner tubing or something like that. And then we also run mission trips to Costa Rica. We don't camp on those trips. We actually stay in bunkhouses and have a little bit better accommodations. But just about everything we do revolves around being in the great outdoors, and the Bible talks about how God has made His invisible qualities evident through creation. So it's a great opportunity for us to take young people or people of all ages into one of the greatest evidences of God, His creation, and then just have a blast while we're there.
Well, and one of the things you do is not only are you doing all these incredible feats of athletic prowess, I might add, that some of us would not have, but although you take beginners and teach them how to do things and rock climbing and various stuff, but you actually have some quality time with God out there.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that we go. You could go with a lot of different outfitters to do the activities that we do, but we're one of the few outfitters that are Christian based, and we intentionally make it all about God while we're out there. So in the morning we're doing morning devotions. At nighttime we do a Bible study called Impact Point around the campfire. And we believe that's a whole experience out in God's creation, because if you just go and have fun, it can be kind of hollow. But when you add God into the whole mix, I mean, it's something of substance. And that's where life change takes place. It might be a person who's coming out on a trip and they don't know Christ, and that's the first opportunity they have to come to know the Lord. It could be a young person who's grown up and they're struggling in their faith, or they've wandered away, and it's a place where they can rededicate and just get things right with God. Or it could be somebody who's got a great walk with God, and it's a time of renewal and refreshment. So no matter where you are on the spiritual spectrum, it's a place where God can touch your life. And God, you read the Bible. That's where people in God's creation, out in the wilderness, that's where God ministers, speaks to, and people's lives are either slightly changed or profoundly changed from that point on.
That's what I love about this ministry. Now, give us a couple of the quick names. I'm going to look at some pictures.
Okay,
quick.
One of our...
The names are so cool.
Okay, we call our annual adventure trip Slammed. We just slam you with activity after activity. We've got Grunge. It's our underground caving trip. Paddle Prow, where we're canoe camping down the river. Ignite, it's our weekend retreat in Central Florida. So
those are great names. Do you still do like walking through swamps and stuff?
Yes, that's the swamp
swamp
thing. And
thing.
one day, I know you're going to come join us down that. Swamp thing. We do a
Mud
weekend
and I
hike.
just get along so well. I mean, literally, you guys are literally trudging through.
Yeah, hiking through the Everglades and the trails underwater. So it's a great adventure.
Oh, I bet
it's
you
a
a lot
very
of people would
rare
enjoy
and unique
that.
place.
Well, we're going to, in just a few moments, Lori, I want to talk to you more about the missions emphasis of what you do. But before we do that, I want people to get an idea of some of the trips. So let's take a look at some pictures. And Doug, you explain. Doug and Lori, you guys explain what we're seeing coming up.
Okay, that's our Costa Rica mission trip. We're actually building a facility down there. There's 100 acres that's been provided to build. This is a rock climbing trip on our slammed event. That's about a 8-story climb. Those are 2 deaf students that are climbing up to the top.
Wow.
We're a whitewater rafting, probably the Ocoee River in Tennessee or the Chattooga in Georgia. And they're riding the bull where they're sitting on the front of the. We go through an outfitter that does the whitewater rafting. That's one of the only activities we don't do.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, this is where we're jumping off of Baby Falls in Tennessee, bridge jumping in Tennessee. So we have a lot of just adrenaline pumping, fun activities. This is Turtleback Falls in North Carolina. Just wonderful places God's created for us. We call it the great outdoors, or God's playground. We're mountain boarding here, and that's in North Georgia. Some of the kids got creative to do one of the group pictures up in a tree there. Great paddling places here in Florida. That's one of our liquid trips. That's when we were doing the Islander out off of the Intercoastal, and that's a beautiful shot in Costa Rica, one of our beach days out to the Pacific Ocean, and that's up at Tallulah Gorge in North Georgia with a group. Tug of War, one of our island games that we do when we do the Islander trips, and that's a rappeller going over the edge at Mount Currey up in North Georgia. We're caving.
Wow.
Grunge.
Serious
that's actually here in
Florida.
There. Yeah, Central Florida.
Now, who are they?
Oh, that's me and my beautiful fiance, future wife. And then there's a great place to do devotions. It's one of our participants out on the rock. Yeah. Reading the Word, and we pray before everything we do because we don't want to get hurt.
Look at that. It's just the scenery behind you and praying. That's
awesome. In Costa Rica. That's a dormant volcano in the background, and some of the amazing.
It is very appealing to think. It's like setting the world aside and just going and doing something totally with God and with nature.
Exactly.
Is very appealing. Now, Lori, one of the things you do is you are missions director. What does that mean for what you guys do?
Basically, when a group calls in to set up a mission trip, I'll be talking to each church and setting up the week for them, and just kind of coordinating everything, talking to the people down in Costa Rica, the church that we work with, the ministry partner that we have that has 100 acres of land that's hoping to build a mission outreach center, orphanage, school, and fish farm, coordinating with them and the projects that are going down in Costa Rica, and just setting everything up. Okay,
so you take a month in the summers, right?
Yes.
Whole month. You guys both go down?
Yes.
You go down, so the going the distance team goes down.
Yes.
And you stay there, but other churches are coming in throughout that time. So is it like youth groups, or is it what that come?
Yes.
Predominantly youth group type?
Yeah, it'll be youth groups. We have one trip per summer that is a public trip, so it's open to anyone that would like to come, any age.
Yeah.
And then other trips throughout the year are scheduling their yearly trips with us. We have one church that's Skycrest that's yearly coming down and wants to be a part of the process of the building projects that are going on down there. And then while they're there, we do activities such as the construction. This summer we'll be putting a roof on the Outreach Ministry Center that we started last year in construction. We did a baptismal, built a baptismal for the local church that we worked with in the river that runs behind the property. We do a carnival day with the children where we're doing games and crafts and skits for the kids. And we're looking this year to do maybe some Christian movies, do a movie night to draw some different groups into the church that don't normally come.
So they're doing a lot of what you would do on mission trips. They're really ministering to the community, to the area and everything. do you work in an adventure here and there?
We do.
Yeah.
We absolutely do. We go ziplining through the Canopy Rainforest. We go to the thermal springs, which is the hot springs that are heated by the volcano, and have a really nice time, nice dinner, Costa Rican local food. And then we also take a day and we go out to the beach, and the kids like to go surfing and just experience.
Well, this is, I mean, there's a lot of, you notice that a lot of churches like to do summer trips, particularly for their young people. I hear this more and more that they want to do it. And this will be a terrific opportunity to take particularly a youth group out on a summer trip where they're out of school.
It's life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
We get kids that come and, day or two of being there and seeing what Costa Rica has and what we have, and walking away saying, wow, we're so grateful for what we have. And, they end up ministering to us, the Costa Ricans, and just showing us really what life's about in some ways,
I think it's so great that Going the Distance Adventure Ministry has expanded to this, and you've done this over a period of years now to this Costa Rican missions. You're not just doing
That's right.
here, what you're doing here, you're taking it beyond the borders. All right, in just a couple of minutes we have remaining, Doug. What would you say to the viewers if they can get involved and support you, and what do you want them to do? Obviously, I'm thinking you want them to come on board with
Absolutely,
the ministry.
yeah. The whole reason that we exist is to put together events that people can come out and let God do something amazing in their life while they also get to experience some great adventures. So first, we'd love people to come and participate, whether that means just coming on a trip and being a part, or they can, once they come and they fall in love with the ministry, we love people to come back and volunteer. We have young people that come back and they'll intern for the entire summer or go down to Costa Rica for the entire month and help to provide for the groups that come. And then we're a nonprofit, so if they would love to support our ministry, they can be a monthly partner or make a one-time donation to our ministry. It's a great investment. It definitely gets used for ministry. And so it's a great way. And a lot of your viewers probably grew up either going to camps or send their kids to camps and know the life change that God can do through a camp. So,
well, I got to tell you, it's a whole lot more life affirming than shows like Survivor. Hopefully, you guys get along a lot better than those groups do. We don't have as much dysfunctionality. Oh my gosh! Because really, this ministry started probably close to when that whole reality
just a
television
few years before.
Started to take place, and you took a total different spin, and actually, I think what's really neat too is businesses and corporate things you do. Particularly if you're a Christian businessman or something, or a woman watching, you want to take your staff and do some this. I think that's just a terrific opportunity to do something like that, and along with churches. Real quick, is there a favorite trip you guys like? Is there a favorite one with the two of you?
Answer that.
Or do you have two different? Would it be two different answers?
I'm torn between the adventure trip but the mission trip. I went on a mission trip back in college and fell in love with it, and it was Costa Rica. So for me, going back there is just it's like a home.
Yeah.
Slammed is my baby. I just love that. It's just 5 days of adrenaline and fun and relationships and going closer to God. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. All of it sounds good. Thank you both so much for being on the program today. And stay tuned on the screen. You're going to see how you can contact Going the Distance Adventure Ministry. Hopefully this has got your interest going and to take one of these trips, and then also because they are so outer directed as well. They love missions. They love to go beyond the borders of Central Florida here and take the message of the gospel. So stay tuned. Here's how you can contact Going the Distance Adventure Ministry, and we'll be back with more of Bay Focus.
For more information on Going the Distance Adventure Ministry, please call their office toll-free at 1-888-697-2479 or send an email to info@goingthedistance.org. To find out more online, log on to their website at www.goingthedistance.org. Bay Focus puts the spotlight on Tampa Bay. Join host Darlene Greenlee as she takes a look at the people and events reaching our Central Florida communities with the gospel. Plan to watch Bay Focus on Tuesday nights at 9:30 and Wednesday mornings at 11:30.